Hello Blender folks, welcome and welcome back. This is Gnomes. The title might be a little incorrect here. Let's see if I hear my voice. If the microphone is compromised or the audio. Okay, my voice seems fine. Sorry about that, folks. So I've delayed a little the start because I had to make some extra considerations, but in principle shouldn't delay, right? Occasionally can happen. So folks, the title here, let's make some extra. I won't change the title, I'll just change here the I need to bring up some. I've not listened to this. Let's see, maybe bringing. Yeah, let's duplicate this one. Copy, paste. Yes, so here let's change this title to bringing Blender render to the next level, and I mean it in the public sense. 2D ish rendering to the next level. No bullshit, folks, because it was, oops, what happened? I think I've just broke my, no, it was just, sorry, it was just some, alright, this, let's bring this at the top. Yeah, it's, don't like how it is, but yeah, I want to make it very. Okay, now just try to centralize this somewhere like here. Yes, I think that should be nice. So folks, welcome again. What I have here, we're gonna go on some okay, don't care about all this stuff. I'm gonna explain what's going on here. And basically this requires some fancy tutorial making, right, at some point, but we can do some highlight instead for now. And even if I don't have the highlights ready, then we can still play with the yeah, we have the stream, right? So I don't intend to delete it. So basically the setup that I have here is pretty straightforward. Requires good texturing, just some basic, or not so basic, but just some regular artistic image texturing. There's nothing really special about these image textures here. They are just sort of painterlish. So and there's some mistakes there in the UVs, but this is another issue, doesn't matter. So the real problem is the following, folks. The shading system in Blender, I wasn't able to reproduce what I wanted on EV. So Workbench was kicking ass, kicking serious arses in comparison to EV. So I have attempted many things. I've asked for help in Blender forums. They all pointed out for me to go, no, not all, but yeah, all decided that no, you should look for cell shading. And I was trying to tell them, in some sense they were right, But in other sense, in the technical sense, they were very wrong, because they didn't they maybe they have found solution for themselves, and but they didn't really seem to catch the challenge entirely. But that's okay, they tried to help, I hope so. That sort of gave me more ideas to try to experiment with, right? But I couldn't find a solution through EV shader node system. So what I did, there was something I wasn't able to go deep enough, which will be something about NPR, non-photorealistic render in Blender 4.4, the experimental alpha, maybe beta alpha, I think is alpha version, doesn't matter. So something that maybe I'll not be very comfortable in testing that, but apparently there will be a new render engine then specialized for on NPR, so non-photorealistic render techniques. And if I'm not wrong, correct me, this I'm very noobish because I don't do PR, photorealistic render, least then NPR is like, I think it relates because it used the system, yeah, you know, this complicated system with a lot of maps combined, and I think that's what it means. So I'm a bit scared about that because I never use those. It's too complicated to have to get map here, map there. Actually, yeah, that you have to have good file management for Blender. This is, or for CG, this is not my case, not currently, but I have to grow on that field. I'm already doing some effort for the scenes, right, for 3D animation, but still struggling for the basics there. I find complicated. Anyways, hold on a minute, folks. I'm just gonna turn off the mic for, and I'll be working. Alright, back folks. Sorry. Um, I was having some, how to say, snacks, and I needed to, the timing didn't work perfectly for the beginning, but doesn't matter, the timing for the stream. But then, now, so you see what's happening here, or maybe you don't see, but I have two render layers, and this is very typical technique of compositing, but there's, I won't say there are a lot of information about this, right? It's like not given. Eventually, if you start learning rendering and especially compositing, you end up finding this. So this turns out that this exactly fits my needs, because since it was too hard to get this kind of rendering here, here it doesn't look very well, there's some crispiness, doesn't matter. So because I was having too much difficult to do entirely on Workbench or entirely on EV the final result, then why not combine them both? So this is what alpha over is for. And you see the rendering is not horrible, it's quite fast actually to render in my, it's not cycles, but we can make a cycles thing here. Actually we can swap here, and you see that this is more, let's say this is more stylized, this one. So I'm just switching. So basically these are just copies. You see this is a EV Brighter, this is EV Posterized CGA graphics. It's same here, but this was when I only had one system, and so this doesn't need, this is actually useless now that I have this other setup. So what I can test here though is, yeah, those things like why should I do this, is it's not like this multiply doesn't make any sense here now, because this was for the ambient occlusion. So one thing that I've done is that I found this in tutorial, we can do ambient occlusion. It's just a more detail, but it's important. Instead of having the ambient occlusion on the shaders, which takes a lot of time, we can generalize the ambient occlusion with here with passes, which is the view layers, but this only for EV. So this is for the render engine. So this is a copied link of the first. I didn't know exactly how that works. Linked copy. So the cool thing, instead of a full copy, the cool thing is that we can make some changes here which are pervasive. They will be cloned, they will be transposed automatically because it's linked scene. However, some things like the render engine, very conveniently they don't change. So if I change for cycles here, it won't change here. This is still Workbench. So I have two scenes, they are linked, so less space, I guess, less problems. And if I change the pose, it will change the pose on. So I don't know exactly what is linked, is binded, and I don't know what is not, but it doesn't matter because the essential was this. Otherwise I just have to be more annoying. And there's something strange that it recreates a compositor stuff in the EV, and that is different from the Workbench. So this is confusing. This is why I've got the scene here, the compositor. It's only here. I deleted everything which I got. This is the one that is working, folks. So here what I do is that you see this is not appearing in the viewport, but it will still render the line art, so that's perfectly fine. What we have here, yeah, so these were for ancient EV, so this is the correct one for Workbench. You see, Workbench. So why would I even use these others? Probably I should just delete them. But because of the new compositor, maybe we find something cool about having those other options. I don't know. As we can see, there can have some fun here, but It's yeah, we can probably break everything and see what. So yeah, I think this is like, yeah, I'm going to erase all that because this was for what I might keep though. Also, let's delete this. So what we can do here is the following, folks. So what is this one? This is the, yeah, this can be fun. Okay, let's see, because now I have a, okay, so this is a thing that I kept. This should be a, it's a group, right? It's just a posterizer effect. Let's see what it does here if I don't know, connect it here on the exploded version here. No, this, the workbench is, so this would be like a fake cell shading, right? It does cell shading on the, just like the ambient occlusion. This is a generic, and of course this is the using the posterized thing, right? EV posterized CGI. So let's so yeah, this is probably very bizarre, right? So this is probably not for this one, because this will kill the, it will be destructive to the image texture, so I don't want that. I'm gonna take this off. We see that it doesn't really work very well, but this works very well, so I don't need this either. What I can do, however, yeah, so right now I just have the EV, right, which is horrible, because I could get some cool EV if I if I yeah, the colors are all changed, right? So it's what I mean. So we have some exploded blue here, which is not good. So but this doesn't matter, because the functionality of this is EV is combining, is just giving the lighting. So there's more stuff to explore here. So what I can do, however, yeah, also there's this alpha over, this is not, alright, let's see what we can do here. So yeah, so you have a hue thing. Why do you have, if I improve the base, okay, it's because EV is very complicated, right? So to get, so what I'm gonna do is try to make good EV from this spot here. So I think what's happening is that the color that I made for testing is just not, I have a light here that is very strong, this point light, and okay, this is because of the, I'm working with the compositor, right? So it doesn't matter. So here I just, yeah, and the light, I cannot play with the light object because I'm on, I need to be on EV. So instead of changing it here, let's change it in here, because we already have the, so this light is too strong, so I've made the test already, so I don't need it anymore. So I'm just gonna reduce this this light, right? That's fine. I'm gonna pause here the music is lagging, so my, this is demanding for the, right? Alright, so here the I have something. that broke when I bring that. I've changed the lightings. Yeah, so these lightings, they are for EV because the lights won't affect workbench. So I have made a lot of changes for the lighting. And even for the shaders on the EV, right? You see that if you compare the solid viewport shading with the EV, it's very different. So I need to check what did I did here for. But the fact is that even if I don't solve this, is no problem because what I want here is the lights. So actually her skin here is too pale, so I'll need to make her closer to this darker skin, right? So something more in between, right? And so there's something useful here, but in this attempt, but it's just not. It's just the colors overall they got for the EV. So I need to figure out. So you see here what I have is just. Oh, we are mixing this. We don't need to be mixing this. And we don't need to be, yeah, because I have the global AO, ambient occlusion, it seems to be working. But this one might prove better, so it is more worksome and cumbersome. But if I have a group here, maybe I can reproduce it easily. But it's still annoying, we'll have to have more setup. So probably here we're gonna still want to have, it's the same, right? So the idea would be to combine this and this, right? So oh yeah, so it was the ambient occlusion, one of the culprits here. Then this thing, I don't even know why this is here. Yeah, so this is was an old implementation, so I think it's for EV, right? So I never conclude this, so maybe I rather restart from scratch. Then we have some, oh yes, I've tested something about the emission shader, right? And then shader to RGB, and that does nothing for some reason. And then this multiply does something. Looks like I'm missing something for the alright, so here is just the color map, right? Is the combination of the skin texture with the underwear masking and texture, just some fancy thing that is it's not too complicated. Like you have the, I don't know why the colors are not showing. This is not regular. Oh, I mean why I mean cycles here? Accident. Okay, but it's still not. Oh no, this is okay. This is the underwear mask indeed. So there we go. So now I was clicking wrong. I was usually it was on the top. Okay, so this is the skin texture. This is the underwear texture. Then we have a color ramp that will just adjust some of this, right? So we have some good masking, and these mixes add the color. It's adding, so they add this with this, which creates this. So this doesn't work on Workbench, but it's shading stuff, right? Nodes system. Then this is just the mapping. Then here we got, this is for cycles. I want to test a tune shader. We'll see how that works. Maybe it's even better. So the emission shader, it's the best. No, it's not the best even. Maybe it's garbage. So because in the end it didn't help, so I'm gonna disconnect it. I'm gonna go here. Let's try to get some diffuse shader. Why not? Less power to the image texture, but some more how do you say, some more noisy effect, which is not too bad. But then I have to remix the, well, doesn't seem to be working well. Then of course this will probably imply that I'll have to change the color balance. Yeah, probably this is what's happening. So if I get this emission shader, however, we see better, right? So the diffuse shader is not that well. We can simplify like this, right? So if I emission doesn't, okay, that doesn't work. No, actually this is not working. So I would need maybe a reroute or just a switch here. So does this has switch? No, this doesn't have switch. So to toggle this is, no, okay, the switch is something for the compositor. So no switch here. So we either have the emission, which values the texture apparently, and the diffuse, which doesn't really value the texture, right? And so the, of course, if I double the ambient occlusion, right, we get much darker thing because there's already ambient occlusion from the compositor. So anyways, yeah, so diffuse shader seems to be very bad, right, for the image texture. So this is a indication, and the strength of the emission, this can be dangerous, so let's leave it at default 1. Then there is the principled BSDF, right, maybe, which is the famous monster, and we could consider alright. So why it doesn't work now? It seems to be mapping something else. No, wrong principal volume, no, principal BSDF. Principled BS. Principal bullshit. So, sorry for the joke, but yeah, so now very close in my opinion to the diffuse in relation to respect of the image texture, right folks? So I still see something, and you see, even if I mix there, multiply, I mean, it loses a lot of value. But we could try, right? Doesn't cost trying. So here we go back on the work here, and I'm gonna re-render this. So there might be some lighting effects which from the shader I sense something different. Actually, yeah, okay, let's V to get here. So this can be interesting. We see that is appealing, right? Whatever I do here in principle would be appealing after this all this setup here that I have, but let's also get the screencast. I didn't came to the point yet of this of all this, but I think you are getting the idea. Yeah, I think I did, right? So the thing that I just, it's hard to show the examples properly. No, hold on, we are not connecting this yet. So what I want to do here is that I don't have this switch using, so alpha over, let's combine. So this is the coolest thing. Now let's say whatever we do there, we can find the blending. You see the eye? The eye, no, maybe you don't see. Alt V. How to move this up and down? Well, doesn't matter. There is a shortcut, but I don't know the view. Oh, it's Alt, hold Alt, okay. Alright, so you see that this is for the eyes is a shading effect. And there's some roughness. Oh, the roughness map is not working. Let's go back to the, and it worked better in the precisely the principal BSDF. So no principal bullshit here. So let's bring this this one here to the roughness. So this is just for the roughness of the, well, we can compare here. No, it's the color rating. So the color to roughness. So it's a roughness map. I'm not sure this is, actually this is wrong. I have hard time reading that. No, what I'm doing, this is sorry folks, I'm confused. This is not, it's not for the, of course this is just for the this part. So no, this roughness map is not, I was confusing with the eyes. I need to go to the eyes shader. So this is like, yeah, it would be, I can still do this, but this will be for, could have some shading effect there, but it's just a detail, so it doesn't, not even sure the need to do here is then to go to the eye mesh, and we are going to, first I'm gonna make a test. I'd like to have this thing, eyebrow, yeah, so there's a trick here. It's down, right? So gotta move this up. This is pretty annoying, but it's a way to get this work. Let's do this. Alright, I'll move this down. Okay, now they are centralized, right? And same. Oh, they have the same material, of course. So what I was saying, they have the same material. So this is where I need to, I don't remember how that worked, but basically there would be something about the roughness. It's working, right? Roughness on the, okay, here maybe I need to revise this whole thing because, but okay, we have some, it's hard to see here, but anyways, this is, yeah, so I'm not gonna touch in this one, maybe I already did. Basically on what is this one, the texture, okay, it's a regular texture, so it doesn't matter. So nothing to see here, I guess. So gonna save, and material, we can just do this, and so they use the same, right? I just want to check if I'm maintaining the same transformations here, so just move here if they are linked correctly. Yes, so everything sticks in place. So here what's happening is that why it's looking black here, I think because I need to click the color map, right? This one maybe, no, it needs to be double deactive. Okay, so don't really understand that, but anyways, now it is fixed. So I'm gonna get here the new information, right? So let's go to the compositor, yes. So you see I'm using the principal BSDF, and it gives a completely different impact on the, it seems like more like a more advanced painterly effect of illustrative effect than the EV, which sounds more like underdeveloped. So I kinda like the BSDF principle for the combination which I have here, and this is even not complete, so we're gonna make more stuff here. Let's also, why not, we will save this. It's not super framed, but gonna save this as another thing. Okay, it's a very nice rendering, but we're gonna make some changes here. Like here we could make some sort of switch, like why not right inside, and bring it here. So basically I'm gonna play just with the colors here, and let's see how I could try to reset this, why not, but so this is the basic we can play here with the switch. So we'll see, maybe we make something. We're gonna this lift, can lift the greens, why not? Then we gonna gain on the blues. Not super nice, right? So let's okay, let's lift the reds. Let's gain on this cyan thing. Or the pink. Yeah, so and here the yeah, so it's hard to only from that it's hard to get something right. So maybe I have to make the split from here already. This stone map I think will be very, very bad. For this I think it's completely unnecessary, although we could. Yeah, this is better for the principal BSDF stuff. So this is like Shift Alt X here, no, Control X, dissolve. Well, I'm gonna make a reroute here. Control X, there we go. So we can have this. So we got this split. This is a little hard to grab and organize. There we go. So we're gonna play with the bottom one here. So they will be all in sync. Bit hard to visualize, so I'm gonna just push this to the side. Let's try this. Yeah. Okay, so apparently something broke. Alright, so I don't know, this thing seems to have returned. Okay, we are back. Sorry folks, experienced a critical crash here. Apparently it was some, assumedly more likely, a graphic card crash. It was first time it happened like that. It just froze my computer. So okay, re-render here. So I have this. Let's see where we were. So I've lost some progress here, unfortunately, but not too much stuff. So basically, because I was explaining a lot of stuff, so we don't need this one. Actually, this will be Control X. Gonna dissolve. Then we're gonna, why not just duplicate these ones, right? except for the group, not a group, it's actually a, how to call that, frame, right? A frame. So here we're gonna add a reroute, bring that here. So I'm gonna switch down here. I'm gonna just look at the without the alpha over. Actually, what's happening here? Workbench is over. What's happening to the, oh, here, of course, there we go. Alright, so we need to rework on this. Just got a variation here for if we can find something of interest here. So maybe yeah, let's try something. I don't know, this can be anything, right? So then for the colors here we will try, it's very hard actually to look here for something better than the original for current state of my work. So we can usually just reinforce this some of these already presets here, which seem to be accurate. Yeah, so getting something very saturated here towards the reds, right? In many ways, yeah. So okay, so sort of warm stuff, but then there's still some thing to do in the gamma. We can exposure, we can okay, so if we switch, you see this all this work for so little variation, so it's like, and I still prefer the first, yeah, it's more neutral or more bluish. Anyways, here this yeah, this is warmer and the other is little colder. Yeah, so let's okay, then let's look at here. I think my blender will, okay, maybe I cannot work with this thing here. Maybe it's the soundtrack. Alright, so apparently I cannot do this artwork here. This rendering is too demanding for my, I just appeared here and you live crash. Yeah, welcome Chromium under Chromium. Hold on, let's see. My blender crash. Yeah, I need to close it. Let's go back. So what well, okay, let's, I don't know, folks, let's